We are actually sorry for starting the event late, especially to our very distinguished guest, the families of Isa Hashim that came early before the We are deeply sorry. First thing first, let's put okay. Thank you so much. The next thing on the agenda is introduction of invited guests. We have with us our lecturers, our mentors, our coaches. We have intellectuals here. We have eminent personalities. We have personalities equally representing families of our deceased lecturers. We have here with us a horror-free activist, a deputy vice chancellor, research and development, Professor Abdullah Suleiman. You are welcome, sir. We equally have a very distinguished personality, a thorough breed to students and to his colleagues. Please welcome Professor Bawa Hassan. Thank you so much. We equally have a committed lecturer, an activist, a public servant, a community developer, and a manager of human resources. We have here with us the present head of the Political Science Department by University, Professor Mahmoud Muhammad Law. Let me be a bit sentimental. The other lecturers have guided us to be what we are. Both of us. A lecturer that has mentored us, that has taught us, that has been with us from day one, from level 1 to level 4. Our level coordinator that ensure our successes. Please welcome Professor Abu Muhammad. To have the families of our late professors. We have the wife of Professor Isa Hashim with us. Hi, dear Nana Isa Hashim. You are welcome. And the leader of the team is Madam Bello Isa Hashim. You are welcome, sir. We equally have Hajia Sa'adatu Isiaku Umar Program, representing the family of Isa Hashim. You are welcome. We also have Hajia Zainab Muhammad Daneed, who is equally representing the family of Isa Hashim. You are welcome. And with us, our young men, we were discussing with Abraham the other day while inviting him. I said we graduated in 1999. He said he was in primary school. He is now a big man, representing a huge personality, Professor Haruna Muhammad Sadi. You are welcome, Abraham. Here with us is also his junior brother, Madam Umar Haruna Sadi. Welcome, sir. Now introduction. My name is Murtala Muhammad. I am associate professor working with Kano University of Science and Technology. I will invite members of our class to introduce themselves by telling us their name and where they are working. Thank you. Please be precise.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Maybe you know people because of the I met Ibrahim Muhammad Nasser.
Take care.
SMS 944168. I work with the University, Iowa. Inshallah, I'm married with kids. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdullah Shahid, and I'm so happy to be here today. It's been a long time since I finished with BUK but this will be the first time I've come back to China. I'm so happy to see my able lecturer once again who have mentored me, who have given me the direction in life that up to today I'm still kind of, we're left to describe the economy of Patrick years Alhamdulillah. I'm obliged once again, and I want to do it first. I was a different manager with them before I left today. I'm not a personal business.
Thank you so much. Please, we should be precise. We don't have time, like slightly late. So please, your name and where you're working. That's all, please. 10 seconds.
My name is Buk. I am working with the Kano State Polytechnic Department of Education Technical.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kabir Mohammed Hussein. I work with National Capital Staff Office. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yusuf Alhaji Bala. I'm a chief superintendent of the police working with the Nigerian Police Force.
My name is Muhammad. I'm a deputy registrar working with the Yusuf International University.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Yahya Abdullah Umar, a former KCN staff. Now I'm
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sani Salim in Jakarta, working with National Local Government Council here in Kano State.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmed. I'm a police officer, presently working as a DPO for the Assalamu alaikum. I'm Abba Shehu. I'm working with the Ministry of Education.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yusuf, working with Kano State Senior Secondary School.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bello Ibrahim Shehu, formerly known as Bello Ibrahim. I'm now working with the Military Department, Sudan University, Kaduna. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Abdul Salam Abba. I'm an educational officer working with GTC Mobile.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sadi Ahmad. I'm working with the Office of the Director of Islamic Council.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdullah Haku. I operate a private business.
Mr. Bamusa, I'm self-employed.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Idris Lepo Mohammed. I'm working at UPC as a branch manager at Islam branch.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shehu Sadi. I'm working with the Ministry for Local Government.
My name is Suleiman Zakina. I'm working with the National Commission of Colleges of Education.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abubakar Umar, CEO of Buk Global Concept Limited.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Masoud Ibrahim, working with Kano State Polytechnic and Chief Imam of Darul Gadiya.
My name is Abdullah Sayyid Adamu. I'm working with the Office of the Head of Service Services.
My name is Michael. I'm working with colleges in National School Management Board.
Assalamu alaikum. My
My name is Mr. Abigail of Exercise School.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Umar Abdullahi. I work with NLPC Limited. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amir. I work with NLPC.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Raul. I work with Nigeria Community Exchange.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bashir Wagaras. I work with the National Service Corps.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amin Shaw. I work with Federal Inland Revenue Service.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdullah. I work for World Physical.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdullah. I think I know Resource and Service Improvement Officer of the Head of Service currently.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ashur Mohammed. I currently work in Service Improvement.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Muhammad. I work with the first power management company. I'm not a technician.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Aisha Wilson. I'm the Federal Investigation Police.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Aisha Abubakar. I work with FCT Universal Physical Education. Thank you.
National Youth Service Corps.
Thank you so much. We need to appreciate our heroes first. We need to appreciate some of the finest in political science. We need to appreciate Professor Ahmad Usman Jani. We are here to acknowledge the services of Professor Isa Hashim and the services of Professor Harun Asadi and the services of Professor Shehu Dalhati. We are here to say thank you to them. We are also here to appreciate our lecturers. Thank you so much. Now, the next thing on the agenda is welcome address by the chairman of the occasion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a die-hard activist, an unrepentant community developer, a thoroughbred intellectual, a personality who is intimate and helpful to students, whose service will be remembered and cherished forever. He is widely acknowledged as a living example of generosity, grace, and fortitude, Professor Mahmoud Lawal. Professor Mahmoud Lawal is the head of Political Science Department at Bayero University campus, former chairperson ASU BUK, and immediate past zonal coordinator ASU Kano Zone. Mahmoud has always endeavored to give back to society. Mahmoud obtained his PhD from Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. He also received a diploma in project management from Galilei International Management Institute in Israel. He was a visiting Fulbright scholar in Indiana University, United States, a former deputy dean, Faculty of Social and Management Sciences, Bayero University campus. He is also a member of the University Governing Council, representing Senate, member to the editorial boards of several journals, an excellent examiner to ABU Zaria, Yobe State University, and others. Please welcome Professor Mahmoud Lawal, the chairman of the team.
Well, you know, they say change is the only thing that is constant. When the master of the ceremony is introducing the chairman, I find it a bit odd. Maybe because I'm not used to some of these things. And he was trying to give a narration of someone like a history. So I'm very surprised. You know, but you know, this is change. We are seeing a lot of changes in our society today. You know, some of us that consider ourselves to be, you know, the old veterans and who are used to ASU business. We don't see this. We see all these protocols as something that we are not used to. Well, that is just by the way. The Deputy Vice Chancellor of Bayero University, Kano, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Research and Development, Professor Abdullah Kano, who like MC also introduced him. scholar activist, the former president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, a former head of department, a former dean, and I must say that the oldest living staff of the Department of Political Science in Bayero University today. He's the oldest in the department. So our mentor, our father, our teacher, Professor Buk Clip. The immediate past head of the department, and of course currently the director of press, Bayero University, Professor Abu Muhammad. The family of late Professor Isa Hashim, our teacher and our mentor. The family of the late former head of the department, Dr. Harun Salihi. Our distinguished former students of the Department of Political Science, Bayero University, the 1999 graduates of the department. Good morning to all of you, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I don't know where to start because I'm overwhelmed with joy. Yes, I'm overwhelmed with joy. Because it is said that the joy of a teacher, is the success of his students. And we must give thanks to Allah for a number of things. First, I have to say that we have to give special thanks to Allah for bringing us together in this maiden reunion of the graduates of 1999. This is 22 years after, and you can imagine. So we have to give special thanks to Allah. We also have to give thanks to Allah that Allah has spared our lives. Almost all of us that are here. Like you all know, we lost some members of staff in the department. Professor Isa Hashim, Professor Ahmad Usman Jalango, Dr. Harun Salihi, and of course, about 60 days ago, Professor Sheikh Al-Hadi. May Allah grant them Rahman and also grant them Abdullah Firdaus. And we hope that you will continue to also put them in your prayers for Allah to bless their life and of course give them Rahman. I think we also have to give special thanks to Allah, for the successes each and every one of you here attained. I was overjoyed when you completed introducing yourself. And I said, Alhamdulillah, each and every one of you, is making progress in his own chosen way of life, chosen endeavor of life. And we have to give special thanks to Allah for this. Each and every one of you here is employed, working in one sector of the economy, one sector of the nation or the other. And it is a very, special appreciation that we have to give to Allah for this. It is not in all situations that you gather former students of a department or a university and you have this kind of scenario. So we thank Allah for this because it is a great success. And we hope that and pray that Allah will continue to bless your life, give you the wisdom and the strength to continue to organize, a get-together of this nature in order to remember the past, to rekindle and re-establish contact and relationship. One of the good things about alumni is when you organize yourself and come together, you are actually further strengthening the bond of relationship. In those days when you are within the four walls of the university, you have established relationship as students, as colleagues in the department. But it doesn't mean that after leaving the university, then such relationship will disconnect. We want you to continue to ensure that you connect yourself and re-establish contacts. One of the things that this kind of gathering does is to actually, further strengthen the bond of relationship between all of you that are members of the class, and to also further strengthen relationship between the student and of course the teachers. So we thank Allah for this, and I hope that we will continue to strengthen this relationship. Secondly, one of the significance of organizing alumni of this nature is to also promote solidarity. Yes, because by coming together, you have organized yourself. It still means that there are some areas that you need to help others. So it's a platform also for promoting solidarity and enhancing and promoting a better life for all of you. And then the last but not the least, it is also a platform for you to reconnect with the university and see how you can promote, corporate social responsibility. That is also one of the essence of having the alumni association. So I want to use this opportunity to urge you, to remind you that your alma mater is there, and your alma mater requires you. Yes. They say to whom much is given, much is expected. So I expect that you reconnect back to the Department of Political Science, Bayero University, and see what little reader's minds you can actually provide to the department. It's not as if I'm begging, but we have to say things the way they are. The MC has introduced me as an ASU activist. I have been in the ASU business for a long time. I'm still there. We know what has been going on in Nigeria, and we know the situation in Nigerian universities. Those fine buildings you see, telephone buildings you see, the buildings are there, but there are still deep crises in Nigerian universities. And we really have to put hands together to see what we can do to help the system. Some weeks back, I attended the Senate meeting, and the Vice Chancellor was complaining about the financial crisis in the university. That they receive only 10 million as, funds for municipal services. By the time you're giving them, a rundown of what they do in the university in terms of providing municipal services, they actually submitted that in the area of electricity only, the university spent nothing less than 100 million naira to provide electricity for the university. Just electricity, not to talk of water and other municipal services. So this actually tells you the extent to which the universities are actually finding it difficult to survive. If not for the struggles of us, probably the universities would have collapsed. Public universities, they would have collapsed by now. I must say this. But of course, we'll have to continue to do what we can to promote a better university system so that all of you here that acquired university education, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will also acquire university education. We don't have the time for me to begin to, explain some of the challenges confronting Nigerian university. Just, a tip of the iceberg. But of course, what I want to drive home is that you really have to come in, because this is also one of the essence of the alumni. For those of you who have been to this area, the current building of the Department of Political Science and International Studies in this area was single-handedly built by a former student of the department. And these are some of the benefits of organizing an alumni. So I think I want to throw this challenge to you, and to also urge you to see what you can do to give back to your university, Bayero University College. Bayero University College is making a lot of giant strides, but you can also come in to contribute in the development and modernization of Bayero University College, all aspects of teaching, research, and community service. So once again, I want to use this opportunity on behalf of the Department of Political Science to appreciate you for not just organizing the get-together, but of course for recognizing the department, and of course for honoring some of us, particularly honoring, our, deceased colleagues. They have contributed tremendously and immensely to the development of that department, and will continue to cherish their contribution to the department. And I know you all know what they mean to all of you in your life. So I thank you immensely on behalf of the department, and I appreciate you. And of course, on behalf of the department, I declare this gathering open and welcome each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
I always admire Professor Mahmoud Law when he was taking us at war in the I wanted to be like him, and probably that is why I'm a lecturer. And I'm an activist too. Let's see what inspiring me. We have with us another intellectual giant, an icon in teaching and learning. His voice is usually hard, almost on a daily basis. He's coming from another program. He's a community developer. He's not only a lecturer, but a community developer. We have here with us Professor Kamilu Sani. You are welcome. Professor Isahaji Mazati has the largest representation because he's a big man to be reformed. We have additional members of his family. We have here with us Hajia Amina Isahaji. You are welcome. We also have Barrister Dija Isahaji. You are welcome. Barrister came late. I don't know why. I'm sure it's all lawful. And we also have with us one of our actually alumni is essential in terms of development of education. And that is why we had a program on and former president Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities. He's an activist. Recently in Duse we had ASU leadership training. And I listened to almost all the speakers. But when he speaks, one has to listen to him. And I recorded his own presentation. He is Professor Abdullah Sulekano. You are welcome, sir. He's the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Development. Please, we'll give you 35 minutes to say something because you have something to do. Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I feel greatly honored to be part of this occasion, and it's a very important occasion for me in the sense of the renewal basis that this platform has given to large number of the group whose history in the department is also very significant, the 1999 group. Mr. Chairman, I would like to start by the existing protocol, as you rightly pointed out. In our union, we are not people of much protocol, but we appreciate everybody that is here. This is not an occasion for speeches, really. It's an occasion to reconnect classmates that haven't met for a very long time. They now see themselves in of course, renew all those jokes of classmates, and of course, more importantly, renew the most significant component of their training as students of politics, students of political science. And part of the fundamental thing I would like to remind you that by the very nature of your degree, we expect much from you because you are trained really to generate solutions. Your training is not a training of a technician. The fundamental difference between a degree and a diploma, that is a diploma from a technical institution, polytechnic for example, is the fact that a person who is awarded with a degree is expected to engineer something new, to develop something new. And part of this training we believe we put in place in the memory of what really you have to collect as a fundamental component of their training. Today, our country is at one of the most important and critical points that requires a change. And we think that students of graduates of political science should be component of this change. The fundamental fact is that the country is as if it's at loss. With all our potentials, we've missed so much in terms of giving direction, not only to our country, but to the entire continent of Africa, which many for a very long time have been looking forward to see Nigeria provided that leadership. We never lost hope. As many would say, as graduates of political science, we are incurable optimists that solutions really should come our way on the basis of the knowledge be taught in this discipline. So the challenge before us as we unite today is to exchange among yourselves, what we are operating in Nigeria is not democracy. Democracy is just one of the forms of politics that we learn as students of political science. And for people who really are educated to understand the scientificity of political science and of course all forms of politics, what we see in Nigeria today is not democracy. In political science we call it plutocracy. It is a government of the rich by the rich for the rich. That's what the system is. So we have to educate them. If they want to develop a democratic society, let them have a democratic mindset that will help us to get out of this quagmire that we are in. They are moving into a direction of plutocracy and they are telling us, they are teaching us for democracy. We need to transcend this confusion and we shouldn't allow them to take us for a joke. And more importantly, we ourselves as graduates and as students and of course as scholars of political science, we must continue to read and research in this field so that somebody who doesn't even understand what the field is about will not come and start distorting what really the interpretation of what is happening in our society is for. So I see you all as people that will help resolve this confusion in this country. I thank you for this opportunity and I wish you enjoy yourself. Thank you very much.
They are here to copy from us. We have Alaji Salim Muhammad. Alaji Salim, you are welcome. And we have Alaji Ilyas Muhammad. You are also welcome. The deputy registrar, Kano State Polytechnic. And we also have our colleague. We have he came late. He has to apologize. Zaharaddin Tijani, Muhammad Salim Suleiman, Zaharaddin Tijani, and we have deponents. Edna, Lele, Victor, they are all the way from Rosie, come on. Now, we are happy. We'll be inviting our level coordinator to give us a keynote. Our level coordinator.
Under normal circumstances, when you say all protocols observed, but this time around, I wouldn't like to say all protocol observed, but that I can say the other way around, that all protocols are alive with me. So let me begin by saying, Mr. Chairman, in the person of Professor Muhammad Lawal, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, in the person of Professor Abdullahi Kano, and the former head of the department and Dean Student Affairs, the person that was the chairman of the panel that recruited me to work at Bayero University, Kano, Professor Bawa Hassan Gusau, and my senior brother, mentor and teacher, and by extension, a family relation, Professor Kamilu Sayetage, Mustafa Ibrahim Chinade, who is here representing the larger alumni of Bayero University, Kano, the family of late German Kano, Professor Isa Hashim, the families of late Dr. Haruna Muhammad Salihi, and the families of late Shehu Al-Hassan in absentia, let me welcome you to this important gathering. In fact, I have been asked to give a keynote address. When Mahmoud Mohamed Lawan was delivering his speech, I actually came up with a title of my keynote address, because we cannot just present a keynote address without giving it a title. So the title is Existentialism and Alumni Development. Existentialism and alumni development. But before I go into the main topic, I would like to begin with some reminiscences. One of which is that for many of you who you don't know, when I was asked by the then head of department, late Dr. Mark Iboili, to coordinate you, I was 27 years old. Today is January 2022. By May, I will be 55 years old. And some of you, when they came to me for registration, they were too young. In fact, there was a lady when I asked you, how old are you? She was so young that I was wondering why, at this age, this lady would register as a university student. She was 16 at that time. And today you have grown up. Some of you, actually, they have their bearded faces, gray in outlook. So, let me also thank those who had the vision of actually organizing this important gathering of love and cooperation, gathering of unity and sense of purpose, gathering of collegiality, gathering of consensus and compromise, and indeed gathering of cooperation and development. The sole purpose of any university system is not only to produce graduates that are competent enough to handle administrative, technical, and any other related professional assignments or undertaking, but also to establish a bond of unity, a bond of cooperation that will cut across various families. Let me tell you that the class of 1999 has been able to establish this kind of bond, because 22 years back, we still remain intact in terms of our corporate unity. Our understanding of one another, as well as our desire to always ensure that we live together as friends, sisters and brothers. Now, going back to the title of my keynote address, Existentialism and Development, I reflect so deep about what really happened between 1993 and in 1994, when some of you registered with me as students of political science, and the year 2022. One of the distinguishing features of the train is that Nigeria of yesterday is not the same thing with Nigeria of today. In the past, we tended to look inward, and we tended to have a kind of individualistic social relation. But as a result of the decay in the Nigerian economy, and as a result of the serious problems that Nigeria has been going through from one year to another, leading to what we are in today, I believe the only way out for alumni association like your own is actually to build upon the existentialism of being together, supporting each other, as well as promoting the well-being of those that are alive and are always relating with one another. I can remember vividly, Bilkisu Shetima is no longer with us, she died. So also, one of you, who I cannot remember his name vividly, Mustafa Agi, he is no longer with us. But their families are still alive. Their children are still alive. And you that are still alive, we have to thank God, as Professor Mahmoud mentioned, and continue to forge ahead in widening the scope of your relationship, not only to you in person, but to your families. I know, of course, there are some people who are very shy to interact, to socialize, because of what I can call gap in social status. But that notwithstanding, if you could remember, since we were children, our parents normally inform us that if you look at your 5 fingers, they are no longer the same, and they cannot be the same. From your introduction, some of you are working with NNPC. Some are in banks, some are corporate individuals. They have established themselves. They have their own private companies. Some of you are still teaching. Some of you are working in academic institutions, etc., etc. Which is to tell you that it is necessary that one will go par, while some of you may be behind him, while some of you will go far, and others will go behind him. But that does not mean that we have to be shy. We are together. I therefore,
sorry, please, the owner of a car with Bayelsa plate number, she has blocked Professor Cameron. Please. Bayelsa.
So I must confess that there are many of you who, even if they are employed, even if they are fully employed, they are not finding life easy. As an alumni association of Great Refuge, it is always encouraged that you have to look behind and ensure that you carry those that are behind you along, so that you can foster mutual understanding, cooperation, solidarity, and camaraderie. The need for existentialism today is also necessitated by the fact that we are operating a global system which is totally neoliberal. And in a neoliberal period, there are some advantages and some disadvantages. One of the advantages of the current neoliberal trend is the fact that it has come along with it what we call globalization. Within a twinkle of an eye, you can be able to communicate, you can be able to relate with your friends, brothers, and sisters. Till Joshua, she's in the US, Desmond Benga is in the US. Why can't you bring them to this platform to become active members, even if it means in diaspora? There are some people who have established themselves in their own professional areas of training. People like Issa Suli, people like Desmond. I learned that Desmond is Inspector General over. Desmond Benga Ajiboye is a police officer. There are many of them. So please, and I will remember we have not less than 200 students in 1999, some of them with 94, some of them with 95 registration number. Direct admission and JAM admission. So, if you can count, we are less than 50. But I can tell you, if you can do some extra work, you can be able to bring these people together so that you can tap the benefit of bringing them together, and at the same time, that basis of existentialism will always be encouraged for survival, for mutual cooperation, and for your own development. Again, I would like to also say that individually, I have had a good relationship with many of you. But I have always been trying to see if you can also extend the same benefit of relationship to the Department of Political Science, the department that graduated you. From time to time, you should visit the department and see the challenges that nowadays students are facing, so that you can contribute your own quota as little as you can to support the ones that have been actually registered to study political science in the next 4 years, 3 years, or 2 years. The department is in dire need of your support, and the university at large is in dire need of your support. Finally, I would like to say that development is necessary, but it cannot be achieved without good leadership. A good leadership is the backbone of any development. And I can tell you, if you want to reflect back and see, had it been that the academic staff union of the universities has not been very strong in terms of providing good leadership, the transformation that various universities have actually passed through today wouldn't have been achieved at all. Leadership in ASU is leadership in total. So I want you to reflect and see what you can do. Here is a trade union, but your own is more of a social responsibility which must be achieved and promoted to its logical conclusion. Let me pray that those that pass away will be in Al-Jannah Firdaus, and those of us that are struggling, I wish us better life fulfillment, and I hope this gathering will remain resolute and consolidate itself as a permanent feature of the 1999 class. I thank you all, and I wish you a safe journey to your own respective destinations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is the family of our Baba. Elementary school, the 4 walls of primary school. He ended up studying at the prestigious Shahuchi Judicial School. He was able to secure a diploma. With his diploma, he was admitted to have master's degree. He added another master's degree before proceeding for PhD. In 1986, and at the age of 53, Professor Hashim decided to go back to school and study law. He was a political scientist, and he decided to read law to add to his further. But law is not important as political science, because political science is pervasive, is dynamic, and is all-encompassing. Please clap for him. He completed the course, a part-time program, at the age of 59. So we all need to go back to school. I'm sure our HOD may likely go back and study law too. Level coordinator will study medicine. Isa Hashim was both a professor in the modern university system and a sheikh in the traditional school, which was very rare. He was a man of great humility and concern for the people, always inquiring about the progress of his mentees. Always involved in community affairs, he served in several committees and Islamic organizations, including Islamic Foundation of Nigeria. Allah ya gaba shama. Allah ya ji kansa. Allah ya sa ya huta.
Dan kallo nan.
To work with him was to admire him. He provided guidance and encouragement for the young to excel in academics. To us, his students, we celebrate the life of a notable political figure and academics, a conservative with huge radical underpinnings, whose efforts in struggling to emancipate his people through scholarship and communal effort was legendary. Truly, He was a man of the people who interacted directly with all persons from different classes, backgrounds, from high or low, young and old. His life was one dedicated to service and advancement of human cause. His last words to me in 2012, when I was writing a book on contemporary camp, that when he came back from medical treatment in India, he would make his own contribution. And he played a huge role in drafting the proposal for the book to be developed. And we have about 10 professors that contributed to the development of the book. The deceased has passions and dedication to anything that he believed in. A good Muslim by all accounts. His zeal and greater commitments were toward a better society, and the drive to hold governments responsive and responsible for the attainment of good governance and representative democracy. He has contributed to the development of a number of structures. His death is like losing a multitude of 5-star generals in one battle, and a lot more scholars and activists in just a day. There are few of our generations like him. Truly, he was a nice person. With a final mission and the finest vision for Africa, he sincerely and desperately wanted solutions to our myriad problems. I'd like to invite the family of Malam Haruna Sali for our is an embodiment of simplicity, an extremely cerebral man with an extremely generous heart. Mr. Chairman, Professor John Lalatu is a committed lecturer, a distinguished administrator, a public servant, a former head of department, political science department, a former deputy dean for culture of social and management science, a former dean student affairs, Bayero University, former director at New Kano Center for Democratic Research and Training on Bayer House. He was rector of Kaduna State Polytechnic and chairman New Site Juma Monks Committee. In whatever role we knew him, from whatever vantage point, he stood apart as a man, as someone special. Joe Lalatu was born in Zaria, a reputable and industrial family. He was influenced by Zelzel intellectual tradition. Strength of character and capacity, he rose through the ranks by hard work, dedication to duty, and determination to become a professor. He obtained his bachelor and master's degrees in public administration from Ahmadu Bello University in 1980, and a PhD from Bayero University, Kano in 1991. Professor Lalatu is focused and committed leader. He had very strong affinity to the youth and how to transform the society. He was passionate about enabling schools to become better places for students to learn. Please, the family should come.
I don't know what to say, but being here today is something that I never dreamt of. I want to thank God for giving us this opportunity and the organizers. I present the award to
It's your mic.
Yawa, to kallo nan. Yawa. Ki daina saki, you hold it. Yawa. Thank you.
I was not crying, I was shedding tears. I never cried when I lost my father. I only shed tears, and I've never cried, only tears. What I want to say is the message I want to communicate that my father left for us so that everybody could enjoy the message. So let me go back. I stand on all existing protocols. My father told me something while I was in secondary school. At that time, we used to graduate in Form 5. Now you have 6 years. In Form 4, he paid for us to write the personal exams via private institute. We were selected, very few of us. Everybody came and took his son home or his daughter home because I attended Federal Government College to come and write the exams. Our principal said we were too young to move into the university at that age, therefore we will not be allowed to come home and write the exams. But every father or mother went to the school and told lies, one lie after the other, and they took their children home to come and write the exam. My father was never there. I was annoyed. I collected exit permission. I came, I met him, I said, Abba, why didn't you come to pick me? Every child has been picked with one lie or the other. They are writing their exam, but you have not come to pick me. He said, go and call your mother, I have a message for you. I was very happy. I went and called my mother, she's still sitting there. He said, I will teach you one thing in life, and remember it and teach it to others. Never you tell a lie in order to have success or anything in life. I was very annoyed at that time. He said, are you annoyed? I said, yes, because you are still going to say the truth. He said, why? I said, you have paid money, I have prepared. He said, whose money is it? And he said, I told him it's your money. He said, I've forfeited it. But this is the basic thing I will tell you in life. Every time I have opportunity, I used to tell people this. This is what I teach my students, this is what I'm teaching people, and this is the message I'm giving you. My father told me this. And as I was growing up, I learned it from the literature. That's one of the qualities of Munafi, to be telling lies. So anywhere I go, the appreciation I have where I do my profession, I'm from the state government there. You are honestly and trustworthy. That is what is sitting in my paper because of what my father told me. And in life, I have never said the truth and have faced any problem. I was in Kaduna. We followed the wrong way because there was this issue of security on the road. So we had to go the wrong way to pick a mechanic to repair our car so that we could move to Kano before it's late. The Achaba man said, but this wrong way, I said, follow, whoever is there, I will tell him the truth and we'll pass. He was shaking. We went there was police, there was this. I told them, this is the truth of the matter. We're heading to Kano, our car is broken down, and this is the safest way we could get the mechanic quickly to put our car in shape so that they said, go, 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 before I even finish talking. As we came with the mechanic, we were following that other way to return. I said, go back. I showed them the mechanic with what he brought. They said, go, go, go. We repaired the car and God brought us home safely. So, in memory of my late father, I'm appealing to everybody. Pass this message. Be honest. And you will never lose anything in life. Thank you very much. This is my
I take the indulgence of this honorable gathering to stand on the existing protocol. I will not take much of our time. And just like the chairman was saying, he said they gave these awards to our dear fathers to say thank you. That thank you connotes a lot. It carries heavy weight because it is one of the pillars of social, civilized living in this world. Because if you want to live peacefully in a civilized society, you have 3 words. Please, sorry, and thank you. And if you hold on to these words, you will go far. The the ocean of life will carry you very far. So what I want to say today is, we thank you very much. And we don't only thank you from the bottom of our hearts, but we thank you from the very interior insides of our hearts. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much.
By the view of No. Displays. Sir, look up.
And we have that of Kwame Nkrumah. Who is an African philosopher whose work contributed to conceptualize Aminu Ali, acting guy. You present that of Samir Amin, political scientist, Marxian economist, world system analyst, and a pioneer dependency theorist. Isa Sule will present that of Sheikh Usman Danfodio, who was a revolutionary, a reformer, a writer, a scholar, and military strategist. Isa Sule will present that of Sheikh Usman Danfodio. Sakina will present that of Walter Rodney. And that's my name when I was a student. Idris Lebo will present that of William Edward Du Bois, who is an American Pan-Africanist. He's a Ghanaian, a socialist and civil rights activist. And Abubakar Umar, representative of Yusuf Bala. Yusuf Bala Usman is Afrocentrist, a scholar, historian.
Look up.
He was a politician.
Look up.
He helped in
Look up.
shaping Nigerian history.
Look up. Oh, it's okay.
I would like to recognize the presence of Abdullahi Zainawa, who is a lecturer in the department.
I want to especially appreciate this level of graduates of political science. For two reasons. One, these portraits are coming at the right time. In the next 17 days, we will be receiving an accreditation team in the department to accredit this is coming at the right time. At least it will further, enhance the image of the department, not only in the department, but also in the eyes of those who will be coming to accredit the program of the national data. So once again, on behalf of the department, we thank you immensely for this. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for what you have done in the department. And I hope that we will continue doing it. Once again, thank you very much.
So much, we appreciate that. So we are doing better than class 1998. Ilyas Muhammad, Salim Muhammad, please copy us. Next thing is good messages. I would like to invite Professor Kababa to pray for the
where I trained, alumni contributions to the development of the department of the university at some point ran up about 58% of the total revenue of the university generated. So I felt immensely happy when both the chairman as well as the Tony, as well as the guest lecturer, Professor Harvey, implored you generally, as well as other associations, to come to the aid of the department. Frankly speaking, the department and the university generally, universities in Nigeria generally, are now in dire straits. Doesn't matter what contributions you can make, as long as those contributions can help enhance the status of the department. That's one. Two, I think the thought of awarding and making awards to our past colleagues, those who passed away, is, in my opinion, legendary. The 4 or 5 of them, just one which I think that Dr. yes, he was an equally important member, but nonetheless, I think, as I said, it's legendary. It's legendary because for the first time, we have an alumni association that thinks those who taught them, those who have become an essential part of them in terms of upbringing and career, are important personalities. Thank you very much. May Allah reward you abundantly. Sadu alayhi kareem. اللهم صل وسلم على محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم في العالمين انك حميد مجيد. اللهم لو كسرتي يا غافر كما ان باينا اشكر يوم وكمل اللهم سرعما duk abin suka bari baya da ya ba su da masa albarka mu kuma Allah samu kyakkyawar tukawa a kan mutane. سبحانك بإذنك عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Yeah, in a sense, this is actually the closing, not just for you, but for us also. I'm happy to actually observe that what you did is quite legend. Legend in the sense of us becoming to share the focus. And this is exactly one thing that actually is completely okay with us. We never think about this. And that's exactly the thing about God. All these people that you gave us, which you named, they are people that actually had personal encounters with. All this member of the party now is power. Who are classmates we joined together? But actually, for one thing or another, we were able to successfully walk away silently, which is exactly my choice. And I'm happy to see not only all of you, but for one thing or another, don't forget that you are following it in one way or another. Most of the people that you are, I wish you were here. I'm talking about the awards that you give. Personally, myself and Jalu, I instigated in bringing Mr. Hashim to the party. And we went to him
Believe me, most people guys do not know, but when we actually help, because we mounted a program, and they were looking for somebody with a civil servant that can connect with those. And he was an intellectual background. So our natural choice at that time was Isaac. Okay? And believe me, when we help, one way or another, he has been absolutely making a contribution. And what you have forgotten is that I personally and who actually lost the war, because we were part and parcel of the group, of which he was a co-chairperson that was attempting to actually make an impact in terms of settling and one thing that actually you observe within in terms of his age is that he was never late. Research was never late. That I never appreciate. And then of course I also happen to be part and parcel of that was set up by the former AY, but I told you that the ex-MR. I'm not actually a civil servant. It was set up, a committee that was set up by him, thinking big about how we can buy certain things we can, and how you can make a contribution to the late mother, of which you are myself and Mr. Ashton. He was quite a very nice personality. And what gets me lucky was that I was sometimes actually writing questions about public history, and it's a mind of information. Oh yes, that's right. All the things that you mentioned about journalism, I was quite good in a lot of ways. And the level of his involvement, I'm thinking about with regards to the issues that affect this nation, especially the issues that affect the northern part of this country, was almost up to the town. It was so many, you can't just come and fix or say things about journalism and just say, no. It's only one person. I didn't involved in so many elections. Likewise for people like you who are then in department before. Yes, he's somebody that can actually make a lot of contribution, and he made a lot of contribution to this department. Not just at the many levels that you have been able to say, but this is exactly what leads to recognition by the state and his appointment. Why he went and did a lot of help. That was able to actually subdue so many things. Society was actually silent. That's what that means. Yes. It was actually silent. I can't remember any time when he had any quarrel with anybody in the party. No. Society will never quarrel with anybody in the party. And he's a very respectful person. And intellectually, he's very receptive to ideas. So I commend you also for doing this. Please continue. Continue in terms of the contact. There are many ways you can actually help each other. Just like Baba said, what we need is the help to the party. How much is that I need to do this? All very old. Somebody just went and talked about the idea, and that's the only platform that actually it's because of it. That's exactly our sex community. We call ourselves this because of it. Yes, most of us are dying. They have gone to actually be whatever we are. But the issue that actually is important is the level of contact that you are having. over each other. It's not a matter of human beings, some have retired, some have done, but the contacts were there. Not only were they there, but they were more cases of. And you don't have to be celebrating this one each year. No, nostalgia is not nostalgia. Make it as permanent as possible, and make it as helpful as possible. The department, as we say, when we mounted a program in international business, and we're facing the problem of the administration for whatever. There is a young department that is in there, very popular, but still facing some problems. Who among you can tell me the name of the Muslim name of Transpanon? Did you know that Fanon wrote this book, The Vision of the Earth, in 2 months? And in 2 months, at the time that because he knew he had written it, and it was timely. So he just got it was timely. He knew it was timely. Medical doctor at 20 years ahead. And he sat down and wrote the lecture class in 2 months for an acid.
Thank you, sir. Talking about signing, the pious one. I have a friend who is a supervisee. He's under the supervision of signing. You know, Saidi as a man, he invited him almost on daily basis to visit him during the dawn prayer, and for him to learn some teachings on Quran and some other things. A student, his own student, to improve his moral standing. Man, I don't know, say 1 or 2 things. And I would like to recognize Dr. Zaid. The journey started almost 30 years ago from Kaz Kami. We usually hear him. He's always on television, media, and radio, and he's a community developer.
Salam alaikum. Let me start on the existing protocol. What I would say is slightly different from what my colleagues said in Cambia. Mine is just to look at one dimension. Now that, as the lecturer said, that you are all grown up, you are now leaders in your own right. I want to say one thing, that one of you, I happened to meet him some times, and he said that when you are students, one of the issues that they told us, or they told you, was that we tried to push you, that we are not compromising, we are not this, and so on. But at last, he said there were some few words that made me very happy. He said that, now, sir, I realize that what you are doing for us was for our own good. And that was one of the few words that he said, which made me very proud to be a teacher, which I think it is also applicable to all of us around this place, and which I will appeal to you that you should take that lesson. Whether you are a teacher or whatever you are, try to push the people under you to put in their best. At that time, when you are doing it, they will not be happy. Like what Bello told us when late Isa Hashim was telling him that you should be honest. So be that one wherever you are, push and be a good mentor to your mentee.
At that time, they will not be happy, but in the future, they will forever be grateful to you. I wish you every success. Thank you very much.
Godiya muke sa Allah saka kasa. Deputy Minister Advancement Office of Life make an basically the team task to be given, but particularly the effort being made by the different class chapters of the university alumni to promote the bond of friendship between themselves and also extend at the same time to the university. I thank you very much for this your effort and the encouragement you're giving your other colleagues to do the same. I want to tell you that the parent body of the BUA Alumni Association, the interim management committee, whose job was interrupted by the COVID-19 scourge, has met and briefed the Vice Chancellor 2 days ago on its plans to hold a convention and an election. And I'm appealing to you that you will be given updates through your leadership, through your organization, but tentatively the date has been fixed for June 10th and 11th this year, 2022. So please, we look forward to your active participation as soon as the information becomes available and to the roles you are going to play. Particularly, I want to appeal to the leadership of this last chapter that the database is going to be updated for all the alumni of the university. We hope there will be a portal. This portal will be publicized. There will be links through social media and through the UK website. So when the time comes, we hope you'll be able to check, confirm your membership, and if there is any error in your information, you can go in and correct it. At least the office of advancement is always there for you and for you. It is there to serve you. Thank you very much.
To all of you organizers of the event, I join others in congratulating you on this wonderful thing you approach of doing. Certainly quite commendable. And I pray that Allah will reward you most it's certainly soothing to see that people have started thinking along this line. Even though this is not the first time, I recall shortly after I joined the services of BUK, a set of students came and inquired about the status of the education of the children of late Professor Harun Sali. And I think they must have done something along that line after collecting all the information. I think this is most soothing that somebody will have a rest of mind that even if he is not around, even if he has passed on, there are people who care about his family. But I would also encourage you to think further on certain things you can do that are both religiously and by every moral standard right. That is, think of other forms of support which you can render to those who are still living. Either they have retired or even they are in service. What every lecturer would not want to see is for his current students to approach him with any form of assistance or support. But if after graduating a set of students for 10 years, for example, among those graduates, if one can get 3 who have graduated 10 years and above, who will think of their former lecturers. And you think of the lecturer and you go to the school where his children are schooling and you ask for the school fees of his child and settle the school fees for 1 year. One, to go to find out the meter number of his house and to buy units for 1 year that will last him for 1 year. And the other, to look at his car and see whether it is due for replacement and replace it for him. This is Islamically and every morally, by every moral standard, right. Nobody will fall to that. And it will lessen the concerns of the lecturer regarding hassles of life. And he will concentrate more on his research and teaching. And that will benefit the generation of students that are before him and those coming up. And in fact, if this is done, why the lecturers may begin to think, maybe their salary is enough after all, maybe. Because they are now not having the burden so much on their shoulders. So they can do with the little that they are having, and they will allow the federal government to go on with whatever it wants to do. Even though it should not go on forever. Another aspect of it, and the last one probably, is the way most of you find yourselves in positions of authority. And we hardly see your impact regarding the impasse between the federal government and us. It's like some of you even join the federal government to fight us after you have been, after all you have been approached of the scripture, and you saw the condition you passed through, you saw the condition of the lecturers, and yet when you find yourself comfortably in air-conditioned offices, you tend to forget and join the federal government in fighting us. I think it's high time that one also is considered so that you think of what you can do, the little thing you can do in your places of authority to see that this constant link between us and federal government and stuff like that. Simply by advising the people in authority that these people are right after all. So, thank you so much.
Comrade was tasked. Advice, we know that. And we decided to do something. You know, it's not only about acknowledging or appreciating the dead ones, but we decided to also acknowledge those that are still alive. So we decided to say a big thank you to some of the lecturers that are still alive. There will be a prize every year for the best student in the department in political thought. I want to name our prize to Malik and second, not only that, we also decided to give an award or a prize to best students every session in comparative politics. We will name the award in honor of Professor Baba Hassan. We have another award, a token will be given, not much, to encourage the students to compete among themselves, to excel academically. An award on political ideas in honor of Marlon Muazu Muhammad. We also have another award, honor Professor Kamil Sanford, the best student in African International Relations. We give him a token and a certificate every session. We have another award on political economy in honor of Professor Kamil. I will now go on. We don't have much time. Our classmates, say thank you. Please just say thank you. We'll invite Abba at the Mudam Kubwa to come and say thank you. 1.5 minutes.
those before me let me start by using the new independent knowledge that we have just gained from another government. All protocols fully aligned. This is done without taking central legislation and departmental legislation. This is free of charge. Sometimes in 1998, somebody who is a statesman, who is somebody to reckon with, once said that they are not only teaching us, but rather they are molding our characters. And that person is in this hall. This is the character that he has given us. Thank you, Madam Mahmoud. Once again, we were first introduced into decision making. And uprightly, we adhere to that right decision. And we were introduced into this decision making by Madam Bukawa. This is the kind of position that we are taking. Thank you, sir. We are immensely grateful to our lecturers for selecting this class chapter amongst other several records regarding avenues across the department to grace this auspicious event. This decision has amply demonstrated the level of esteem, consideration, confidence, and regards the department and the extension of the university and its leadership have for our dear class. We sincerely appreciate. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate the chairman, members of the organizing committee, and the esteemed class in general for initiating this reunion. There is no doubt that when we fully integrate, we will confer on very many of our colleagues the opportunity to address challenging issues with ease, which would have otherwise been limited due to exigencies of life. Determined as representative of this modest accomplishment of reuniting after over 20 years, this union will continue to pursue and promote undertakings that regard and cherish legacies that will involve and apply to the highest possible limits strictly of provision of the law to regulate and mitigate abuses from the laws of society. Finally, on the account of this reunion, I had a course to search for a beautiful course using a design criterion involving such attributes as experience, competence, loyalty and commitment, dedication, honesty, reliability, command of mind, zeal and determination to see my goodwill messages revolving around attitude, knowledge and experience as component of our internal resources. 1. Knowledge makes the man unfit to be a slave. 2. Success comes to those who become success conscious, and we are. Attitude is the little thing that makes a big difference. Don't stop when you are tired. Stop when you are done. Patience is success to element. The road to success is always difficult. Action or work is the connection between desire, plans, and fulfillment. Maintain a calm mind is the ultimate weapon against your practice. And finally, focus on your strengths but also strengthen our weaknesses. Thank you very much.
For your exceeded 2 minutes, so we'll find you 100,000. I will invite, I would like to recognize the presence of Dr. Abdul Hakim. He's our colleague working with all universities there, and we have in our list members of the program. We have Madam Stein Tyson working with Daily Trust. We only have Madam Muhammad Nasser, please 2 minutes.
back down the memory lane. Because of that, some of us that we started in 1995, some didn't finish with us in 1999. Some died along the line. Some dropped out. And even some that we graduated together with in 1999, up to today, some are not married. Not because they cannot. Up to today, some have not been appointed. And very many of us had wished to be here. But because of some logistical challenges, they are not here. And that is the fundamental basis of my saying, you look at your next neighbor and say, well, Alhamdulillah, please let us do. Alhamdulillah, I want to sincerely thank Professor Hasabawa, who was the head of the department when we came in immediately after Professor Nguyen. And to also appreciate Professor Kami Femi for seeing to our exit because he was the head of the department when we left. And to appreciate Professor Abu Mohamed for not just mentoring us when we were in school, but for monitoring us after when we have left the system. I recall personally on 2 occasions to come and say, "That's JK Masters." JK Masters. And I told him I had a master's from Udus, but it was a professional master's. It's a JK Circle. And she said to the glory of God, it will interest our mentors to know that we have many PhD holders among us who are lecturers. We have many senior police officers among us. The one that marveled me a lot is that of Balaam Zulu.
Yes.
Somebody who could lawmaker who eventually not just become a law enforcer, but a lawyer. He is the only one that I've seen that have taken over Professor Isashi, who has added law into his political science. Beyond being a senior police officer, and many other officers like that. Dr. Masoud Danti is the grandfather of all of us. In fact, he always jingle our platform. So we say, "Kai, can't you speak in English?" I will continue. May God continue to bless you. Yesterday when I was in his house, he felt like crying. That he never expected that people would call him. And he took to many others. What I would like to finally call him, when we were in school, nobody ever knew you could get to the height he has gotten to. Because all of us were playful, absent-minded, and to the glory of God today is an associate professor. He is qualified to retire at age 70 if he wishes to be in academics, because he has already climbed the professorial cadre. Alhamdulillah, and so many of us. The other person that always marvels me is Alhaji Abdullah Yunusa. You always see him glittering and shining in the social media. He's a senior director in the chemistry service. And they are very wonderful people. I want to say thank you to everybody. And to appreciate Almighty Allah for this special favor that He has done for us. And to chant on all of us that this should be the beginning. Like Professor Muazzam Ibrahim said, we should not relent. It should be a recurring event. So that those that were not able to attend this meeting edition will also join in the next edition. And the joy of it is that we make it a vocational rotation. This year we are in Kano. God's by in our life, next year we can go to Abuja. We can go to Kaduna. Somebody in Port Harcourt can say, next year I'm going to host all of you in Port Harcourt. And Allah will make it easy for all of us. Before you know it, within among all of us here, we will get a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who is going to, at the end of the day, practicalize the real democratic principles that we are taught and then put Nigeria in the right shape. May God Almighty Allah continue to spare our life, be with our wives and our husbands, and grant our children uncommon favor so that they will all excel in all their endeavors. Once again, I I want to hold tenaciously. The advice of my daughter, where he said, we can change the vehicles of our teachers. We can look at their meter number and load them for 5 years. We can go to school of their children and pay for one section or even more of their school fees. I think that is the dimension that ASU have to look at as against the Thomas strike that we are into. If such is reoccurring, I think our children will better off at the end of the day. Lecturers are not just interested in strike, but they are interested in the betterment of their welfare and in the welfare of the students. And that is a good suggestion that can ameliorate such institution. I'm happy that as I was addressing ASU matter, the former zonal coordinator and zonal chairman walked in. And I said the last speaker had given a panacea to the issue of strike by ASU, who are always interested in the welfare of both the academic staff and the students, which is alumni trying to look into how to better the lot of their lecturers. If lecturers are better off, if they are well to do, they are not interested in going to strike, and they will ensure that they are able to deliver much more and better. Thank you and God bless you. I'm sure of course, say very much.
Thank you.
I'm in fact overwhelmed. I'm very, very, very happy to stand before my mentors and grand mentors. Madam Abu, as we used to call them, that day, Madam Mahmoud, actually were my superstar. I was looking at them, and I was trying to copy them to be one day like them in future. And today I'm very, very happy to say that we are following your footsteps, and among us also we have lecturers that are also following your footsteps. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the honor given to us for attending this our reunion. And I want to extend also invitation to you. Whenever we have this opportunity to gather again, please endeavor to honor this invitation again, sir. Thank you very much for the organizing committee. Thank you very much for Madam Betsy. Thank you very much, sir. You actually, to cut it short, like the ginger, the brain behind all this reunion. Thank you, your effort is appreciated. For the acting chairman now, thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the people that make this event to happen. Also, to all my colleagues, I have seen the love we extend to ourselves by contributing to come and make this event lively and make it happen. Please, whenever we're having it again, we should also endeavor to make it even larger than what we are having now. And also I want to suggest, let us make it annual, to have a time, maybe any time of the year, that every person will be planning towards that time. Like a festival, something that we know at this time will be coming to attend to some program. And thank you very much all for attending this program. Thank you.
Apart from being a political scientist, he is now a barrister of law.
Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I don't know. You know when you call it protocol observe. I don't know what to observe on my heroes, my mentors, my fathers. Thank you very much, sirs. I don't have anything to say. In fact, I cannot express anything from both my father's side and my colleague's side. Sani ba san ki zan ce ba ƙara nan ba. I'm going to sue all of us here by making me the child of the department and the child of the class. They ask me more than Saidi, I think. More especially my parent here. As you know the record of my life, they all make me cry. More especially previous 2 years ago, when I fell sick. Whenever they come to me, sir, I have nothing to pay. but only to cry. They show me really family life. I don't have anything to appreciate, to say in word. I cannot even express, only that I have to shed my tears for love and tranquil mind they impose on me. More especially my mentors here, all of them, the highest, not the high table, the highest level, all of them. Of very recent, I was sick again. After 2017, I lost something back of me. When I fell sick, actually I don't know what to say. The condition of Nigerian economy and the situation we are in. The class sent Professor Murtala Mohammed to see me in the hospital. It was an embarrassing day in my life. That was the day when my name was fixed on the board that doctors should no longer entertain me because they owe me 1.7 million naira. And I cannot continue paying. Next day, I just saw doctors come back to me, started doing work. After Murtala left, before he came to my bed, what he did, he just go to the desk, see that name, remove it. He settled it from his own pocket. And the later that clear more than half of that from the donation of my colleague here. And he forced me not to say thank you or not to say anything on the platform. After I came back home, they did the same. All of them here, sir, if I can count one here, one here, one here, my brothers, as if I'm the only man in the class who is sick. So I can't say thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you, my brothers. Thank you, my fathers. And so we started this thing as early as 2004. It started in my office, this level. We used to come together. You mentioned Ajiboye sir, our professor. Ajiboye is not the policeman. Ajiboye is a politician, and he sent a goodwill. The person you are referring to is Wasiu Adesoye. Yes. Mr. Sile, where are you? Stand up, let madam see you. Okay. Sir Isa Sile, among their students, he is one of the active policemen in the Nigerian force. He is the one who is heading Basari area, and he controls it. He knows the situation there. To the extent that the whole community call him and determine him as Wakilin Buka of Basari Emirates. We are all together, and we used to extend relationship that is beyond the linkage, but also as a family tie. This is the situation of Nigeria that made some did not come. Among the students, among your students, there is Madam Abdulkadir also. You didn't mention him. Also a police post, the controller of EFCC here in Kano. Sir, please stand up. Let Madam see you again. Yes, as well as stand up. Madam mentioned you. Yes. And the person you know, the person of lawbreaker is now a law protector. So, such mention but a few. But we are beyond that, and our relationship is more than silent, you think. And we are ready to do everything to see how we promote our department and our fathers united together. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. My appreciation is underlined. Not thank you in capital letter, but also bold. Thank you very much. Thank you.
occasion, our dear lecturers, my fellow colleagues, invited ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum. Let Mana Amin Kano, a blessed memory, said, no task is impossible so long as courage and determination are prepared to make it possible. Alhamdulillah, I feel highly honored standing once again in the midst of our dear lecturers and fellow colleagues 22 years after our graduation. 22 years ago, in a similar occasion at Royal Prototype Hotels, we witnessed our graduation ceremony. And since then, today gave us an opportunity to once again come together, because throughout these years, many of us have not seen each other. Our graduation in 1999 coincided with the return to civilian rule. And alhamdulillah, I think graduating at that time, we were tagged as the set of the millennium. Opportunities opened up with the return to civilian rule in aviation, in banking, in telecoms, even in public service. Alhamdulillah, we are able to get gainfully employed into all these sectors. So we cannot but give gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this opportunity. 6 to 7 years ago, the issue was not about holding this reunion then. We had issues to do with when and where to hold this event. But alhamdulillah, we applied the right approach to resolving the various opinions. And what we are seeing today is a clear demonstration of our ability to come together to hold this event. An event of this nature certainly must involve the financial commitment of people. Alhamdulillah, certain individuals come together to foot the bill for this occasion, without which this event will not have been possible. Mr. Chairman, with your kind permission, I would like to mention names of those who funded this activity. I will go in alphabetical order. Abu Adam Kudwa, Abdul Aziz Muhammad, Abdul Qadir Yahya, Abdullah Sayyidi Adamu, Abdullah Yahuza, Abu Bakar Umar, Amin Abati, Amin Ali, Amin Sheikh Usman, Fatih Umar, Hafsat Muazu, Isa Sule, Mahmoud Bakari, Maryam Yusuf, Muhammad Isa, Muhammad Nasir Ibrahim, Murtala Muhammad, Nasir Umar Wadede, Saad Suleiman Kumo, Sadi Shu'aib Muhammad, Sakina Tijani, Umar Abdullahi, Usman Lawal Safana, Yusuf Alhaj Bala, and finally Zahadin Tijani. Most of these individuals are here with us. But even for those who took part in funding this occasion, even though not physically here with us, have also sent in their support for this occasion. I thank you very much for listening. I wish everybody joining us back to their respective destinations. Thank you.
Fathers here and teachers, Madam Ibrahim, I just supported him. So I think the most important thing I have to say at this generation is to actually appreciate him. I'm heavily overwhelmed with joy. I cannot say that this is the only set that have been able to do that, but I think, you know, it's always said that there is help among people. So, among all the alumni, you know, groups. And again, let me once again, you know, appreciate you for what you have been able to do. You know, this issue of the portrait, I mentioned it some few minutes ago, but I want to repeat it again. You see, one of the wisdom of doing this is many of our students these days hardly know who these people are. They read them in the literature. You read, come across Samir Amin, Claude Ake, or even Yusuf Bala Osman, you know, the famous historian from Nigeria. I see him as a great historian in Nigeria. You know, so I was in the picture of all the efforts, all the activities that we've been doing to get this thing, put this thing together. Remember, I was discussing with you over this portrait. So when they see them in the halls of the departmental building, then they will get to appreciate them better. But as you read in the literature, and you say, okay, so this is from Manon, that I read the book, the lecture of the art. You know, so I think this is very, very, you know, significant for us. I went for an accreditation at Bingham University in Canada, and I saw this portrait all over the place in the building of the department. You know, so when you came up with the idea, I said, wow, I was very happy. You know, I was very happy that you are doing this. So we thank you really immensely for this. And I want to urge you to please keep it up. One area that I want you to come in, we have said a lot, myself and of course your level coordinator, this issue of where will you come in to help the department. Many of us have actually, you know, emphasized it. You know, Professor Bawa, Professor Kanu, and others, including of course the Uganda. But if there's one area that I want you to look into, these days students come to the university, they get admission, they will find it difficult to do registration. You know, we don't pay tuition fee in Nigerian university. This is what the union have been fighting over, to ensure that we don't introduce tuition fee in the university. Because the very first time you introduce tuition fee in the university, you have killed the public universities and you have denied a large chunk of Nigerians from acquiring university education. And that's why the union is very insistent on this. You observe that I come across this on a daily basis. Those coordinators will come to me. You see this candidate has come in, he wants to do registration, but he cannot afford to pay 38,000. What you pay in Bayero University as registration fee, 48 for new students. In most cases, 38 for returning students. They find it difficult to pay this. You know, so I would want you to look into that to see how we can come in to help some of these our students. Because like Mandela said, the key to transforming any society is education. Give people education. And what we need most in this society is education. For me, I've been saying all these problems of banditry, kidnapping, what have you, the bottom line of it is education. Some people are denying education. You know, either by act of commission or commission. And we need to do something. You have a role to play in this direction. Some few weeks ago, one of the level coordinators came with a student to my office and he said, look, HOD, this student wants to register. He's a returning student. He's still over 2 students. He needed only about something 1,000 naira to pay. He doesn't have the money. He was able to put together about 25,000. And then he needed some, you know, balance of 15,000. And you know, with this amputated salary of IPs, I wanted to give him the 15,000 naira, but I don't have it. I gave him advance 10,000 to him. And I said, please take this and, you know, manage it. So he did, and then he was able to get 5,000 and add up and he was able to pay. And the registration was about to be closed at that point when he came to it. So I think we need to look into this and see how we can probably create a kind of maybe a fund where you can help, you know, indigent students to do their registration. You know, you can have a desk officer within the group who can be handling this and managing it on your behalf. If you do that, you will be doing a great service to humanity. You have a whole lot of students in the university. We know many students these days will suspend their studies because they cannot afford to pay the registration fee. They will formally come to the level coordinator and say, look, level coordinator, I can't afford to get this money to pay. I think the best thing I can do, and my parents cannot be able to, maybe the parents are even there. So please, what can we do? If there is no alternative, you know, the level coordinator will then mobilize some assistance for him. He will say, say, well, the only option is for you to apply to the university for suspension of study. And this, I think, could be the reason why the university management decided that they will create a kind of an assistance. They said they provided some amount of millions of naira. It's about 10 or 15 million, like the university mentioned in the Senate. And then they will create an opportunity whereby students will come to the university and will be given some kind of employment, temporary employment, to provide some services. And they will get some stipend from that fund that the university created, so that they can use that stipend to be able to fend for themselves, keep body and soul together, and then, do some other things while in the university. You know what it means to go to the university. You all know, you've all passed through this experience, you know what it is. So this is what we are going through in Nigerian university. And like many of us here have said, as an alumni, you have a great role to play, in this direction. And we hope and pray that Allah will give you the wisdom, the strength of mind, and the capacity, because it's about, the strength of mind. You may have millions in your account or in your pocket, but if it's not there, so may Allah give you the strength and of course the wisdom to be able to do this. And for me, finally, what I want to say is to pray for you. And very much overwhelmed about what you people did, and we hope that other groups will copy from you. I attended another program yesterday for the 2013 set. I cannot compare it with this. It's very clear. So what I would say is that I pray that Allah will bless all of you. Allah is Allah mu baraka. Allah ya albarkaci zuwa abu da baki daya. Iyalan ku da ƴan uwa Allah ya musu albarka ga baki daya. Allah ya sa a mizani. Allah kuma ya sa wannan abu ku fara, Allah ya sa ku dore da wannan al'amari. Wannan aikin alheri da kuka yi ubangiji Allah ya saka muku da alheri. I pray that Allah will continue to bless all of you. For us, our doors are open. We are always open for advice, for suggestions, for contribution and support. We'll always be there to support you. So once again, on behalf of the Department of Political Science, we thank you immensely. You should remember, and let me also tell you, this is going to be an item in the agenda of the departmental board meeting the next time I meet in the department. So once again, thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much. I'm actually emotional. And one thing that I would like to appreciate is for
where we can't understand president that the purpose at the university, that distinction between associate professor and professor is superficial. And by the way, according to Nigerian scheme, you have entered into the professorial career. So what's stopping from calling a professor? What's wrong with that?
Sai ce ko wai idan profesa ya gamu da malamin sa mai yake cewa ya ce daga ba kuma.
And moreover, Dr. Said Ahmed
my colleagues, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. I feel it a great honor and privilege to be the board of class on this memorable occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to Almighty Allah for making this occasion a resounding success. First and foremost, we thank our interim committee members, the union committee, the entire political science members of 1999, who are here today, and most especially those who financed today's event. May Allah reward all of us. I sincerely thank the chairman of the region and other lecturers of the Department of Political Science for attending today's event. We also especially express our heartfelt gratitude to our then double coordinator, Professor Abu Mohammed, who has been a wonderful person during our university days. We will forever be grateful to Mama Abu Mohammed for his valuable contributions, words of encouragement, guidance, his kindness, and his interest for our development. His hospitality and continued support. Please, I want us to give a standing ovation for Malam Abu Mohammed. I want everyone to stand up. Everyone to stand up, including myself. Everyone to stand up, including our friends. Malam Abu Mohammed has been a great person. He assisted us in every way. He never said no to our demands. He never said no to us. Anytime we came to his situation, things were analog. But he was able to attend to all our demands, all our prayers. We never be grateful for our demands. May Allah reward you, reward your family, and reward each and every member of the family of the We thank all the distinguished invitees present here for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion. Last but not the least, we thank everyone for making this reunion a success. Finally, I leave you this inspiring quote by Martin Luther King. An individual has not started living until he rises above the confines of his individualistic concerns to broader concerns of all humanity. Once again, we thank all and wish us safely back our various destinations. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes? You say?
An yi proba, ok, na gani suna yin nan. Nan ba? Nan ba?